So good evening. My name is Adam Cavalier, and I am currently a Full Sail student enrolled in the Business Intelligence Master's Degree program. So this video I'm creating is to go over uh, the book by Robert Greene called Mastery and how that ties into my career path and a little bit about me and my life's journey. So I would start by saying that I'm hoping, if we fast forward the clock to the future, to have my own consulting firm. That is where my current goals are into creating my own firm and managing it, and maybe having a couple people along board that work in different departments like marketing, advertising, design. But so far for me, I'm just going to focus on analytics, and because that's where my passion is, and owning and running my own business. So now that I've kind of told you the end game, let's rewind the clock a little bit and talk about this week, because this week has kind of really helped me with this book by Robert Greene. The Mastery book has really helped me take a look and see what is it that I want to do. So obviously consulting is a very broad field, and my niche is analytics. I recently got my degree in 2016 in sports marketing and media, where we touched a little bit on analytics and the CRM, and I found a real passion, for some reason, something about the numbers and the patterns and the, if you look at the times we're in now, where analytics are the driving force between a lot of the decisions that companies and CEOs make, that has helped me find something that made inside of myself. I really was excited. I was excited to learn about it. I was excited to do projects and presentations on it. I was excited to just look at other people's businesses and when we did our final project, do the numbers and the budgets and everything to try to see, is this something that the company was worth investing in? Is it actually working? Things like that. So let's talk about the book a little bit, because this week has been incredible reading the assigned reading, which I went way beyond because I got so excited to read this book. The introduction just really grabbed my attention. I'm going to start, before I go over each of the life's tasks and the strategies to finding your life's task, I want to start by using the one that actually means the most to me. So I talked to you a little bit about me going into my bachelor's degree in marketing because I thought that's where I was going to be. I thought I was going to be maybe in website design, maybe in sales. I kind of had no idea. I just thought, I just was really chasing the old idea of marketing, kind of like someone does for nursing, and then they kind of decide where they want to go from there. So, the first strategy it talked about is returning to your origins, which really was, it sounds so simple, but for me, I've gotten so off the beaten path of where I might have been wanting to go in the very beginning, or didn't even know I was going to go in the very beginning, that I had to really stop and think and look at where I am now and go back to what I used to like in my bachelor's degree, and back to my where I first was introduced to growing a small business, and think, is this something that I could actually do? Like, am I meant to go work at a company, or did I give this up because I really just didn't want to invest any time into seeing if this is real a possibility for me? And I'm going to tell a little story because I think this is going to give you an insight to who I am and kind of how this book ties into me. So as I was growing up, my mom, as I said, a lot of people in my family own businesses, but my mom was an elementary school teacher. And while in the course of her teaching, she decided that she was going to create a small art camp at the summertime so that kids could come in and do art outside, because she felt like there wasn't enough art in the school. That's not really important, but the camp was at our house, and it was, we had nothing. We're starting from the ground up. She had never done this. I had never done this. We had no idea. I just graduated high school, so I was only 18 years old, very young. Hadn't started college yet, but I was going to college for business administration. And it was really exciting to work on the logo, to create and create and advertise the camp using the Gazette and other local things that my mom had, other local places that my mom had connections with. And it ended up being extremely successful. I mean, we literally had too many people sign up for the first 2 weeks our first year, and we had overflow, and we had to turn people away. And then the next year we had to add a week, and then the year after that we had to add another week. and we still have to turn people away each time. So, where does that tie into me? I think it was really incredible to watch my mom grow a business, have me able to see it and help her from the ground floor up and make decisions and help her make decisions. And she and me looked at things and found different ways to, grow it. And I had to, and it was really fun. I think the challenge of trial and error and, having an idea, implementing it, watching whether it fails or succeeds, it was exciting. And I miss that. And I think this book has shown me that, that's where I hope to continue moving, because I saw the potential. I mean, we became very successful putting our two heads together, and I think that's where I really blossomed, and I showed the most potential. So let's talk a little bit more about the other ones. So strategy 2 that the book talks about is occupying the perfect niche. So my niche, obviously, as I spoke of before, is analytics. So I'm hoping to grow my own dream consulting firm solely based in the beginning on analytics, like maybe starting with doing people's Google Analytics and helping them and put their information in and start it up, to maybe even then implementing my own strategies and putting infographics out for people, laying down presentations, showing people what they can and use based upon the analytics that I've dived into. That's kind of where I'm hoping to find my niche. The strategy number 3 is avoid the false path, the rebellion strategy. This is a really important strategy, I think, for me, because I've kind of gotten so many ideas and I've thought that these are the things for me. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And then now that I'm looking back, it's like, none of those things were really what I started wanting to do. I kind of went way off of where I originally saw myself going. Some of the reason for, hey, this pays more than, starting my own business. Starting your own business, being an entrepreneur is very risky, whereas I could go work in a company as, a marketing firm that's already done and it's a little bit more secure. Things like that really drew me away from where I wanted originally to go. And then another one that kind of ties directly into what I just said is, letting go of the past, the adaptation strategy. This one's very interesting because outside of my career, I've had a life of constant change. Whether it is 1 minute I'm doing one thing and I'm going in for marketing and design, I come to find out that I have no interest at all in design and I'm fully in the sales, to leaving college and saying I'm in analytics and then deciding to go into app design. I've been all over the map. To, outside of career, my life has been pretty much a constant change. So I think that in terms of my career, I'm excited because I think the lessons from change that I've learned from my life outside of a career, that change is actually a very positive thing, even if it's negative at the time, which you lose a position or you have to go back or something falls through. If you learn to accept and own that change and try to spin it to something positive, the change is actually very powerful. So I think that's going to be something I'm really focused on, maybe not in the beginning of my creation of the consulting firm, but as it grows and as it moves up, I hope that's the plan. I think that's where I really have to start being open to changes, being open to things, doors opening and also doors closing. So the last strategy to talk about is finding your way back, the life or death strategy. This kind of applies to me right now. I think finding my own origins, and this would be the number 1, but this would be the number 2, finding your life or death strategy. I'm in a position where I've gone way outside of consulting or creating your own business. I've really focused on going into a company, entry-level position, working my way up, becoming part of a company, and then, maybe branching off after that. Now I've decided that I'm going to start without all that, with the resources and network that I currently have, and I'm going to create my own company from the ground up. So this is where I am today. And I hope that during the course of this, at least even this month, I'm going to take 2 steps, 2 really big steps for me personally. And the first one's going to be, I'm going to get my business cards up and running. I have them already in a logo and a company, but I haven't actually done anything with it. I've already paid for it. But I want to get those business cards up and running so that if, as I'm moving forward, I'm taking strides. I have a business card. And then I think the other thing that I can do to really take a step in the right direction is to start by creating a profile on Fiverr and do small, like the book talks about apprenticeship, starting to take a step into the consulting niche. That's not really a niche. The consulting broad area, and focus on analytics and do little tasks for people that need it, and really start building on my knowledge and becoming a master in the field of consulting for business analytics. And I think those two things, getting done this month would really put me in a way ahead of a way. And as I continue going through the courses for the business intelligence degree, I hope that will only help me grow and solidify that base and that foundation for me to grow my consulting firm. So I hope you've enjoyed getting to know a little bit about my career path and my life tasks and the little changes that have happened and what has led me to be who I am today. And I hope that you'll enjoy more of my videos. I'm sure that are to come. Have a nice night.